Hi everybody, this is Rebekah Cowne, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute Magic Awaits easel card using the roller coaster punch. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your roller coaster punch, border punch. You're going to need a half a sheet of crimson and a half a sheet of goldenrod. You're going to need some black cardstock. You're not going to need a whole sheet, but you can use a whole sheet if you need to. I also use this particular sticker from the Magic Awaits sticker pack. It's the Life is a Roller Coaster, Enjoy the Ride. But you can use any sticker that would fit there. This one would actually be really great for a card. The best things in life are the people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we've made along the way. I used a little bit of repositionable tape, not much, and then I used my tape runner, but you might want to use your mini tape runner as well. I also used a piece of the Magic Awaits pattern paper. I use the star paper because it has the stripes on the back. And then our foam squares. So you're also going to use your trimmer as well as the scoring blade for your trimmer. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to first make sure that our goldenrod is exactly 6 by 12. You're going to put that in the trimmer and cut that in half to 6 by 12 if you haven't done that already. And then you're going to take your crimson. So I just cut it down to 5 3/4 here, cut it on my trimmer with a straight blade. And then this way I turned and cut it down to 11 1/2. And so I'm left-handed, so everything's upside down for me anyway. So I usually cut with my ruler at the bottom, so bear with me if it's backwards for you. And then you're going to cut it at 11 1/2, so you just cut it 1/2 inch off, and then you will get an 11 1/2 by 5 3/4 piece of crimson. Okay, and then your black, you're actually going to only need for the card part of this a piece that is 5 3/4 by 3. So what I do is I always cut my black down to the 3-inch mark. So I've already done that. I've cut it down to 3. And then you're going to turn it and cut it 5 3/4 again so that it is the same width as your crimson. So you got 5 3/4 there. Okay. And you're going to then take your piece of star paper, and you're going to cut that down to 5 1/2 inches. So you're going to put it in the trimmer and you're going to cut it down to 5 1/2. And then what you're going to do is you're going to be left with this strip that's 5 1/2 inches. And you're going to cut that piece down. And I've done a lot of the pre-cutting first just to make this go a little faster for you guys. But you're going to take your 5 1/2 inch piece by 12, and you're going to then turn it and cut it again to 5 1/2, so you have a 5 1/2 inch square, and that's going to become the part of your easel card. So you're going to take the stripe side of this paper, and you're going to do 5 1/2 by 2. So cut that down to 5 1/2 by 2, and you're going to use the stripe side of that when we go and assemble the card. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is then, now that we've done all the cutting pieces, we're going to put the scoring blade in our trimmer. And, you know, we all love our trimmer because it stores all of our blades underneath for us. So you're just going to switch to the scoring blade, and you're going to need to score your crimson and your goldenrod. Now you can use other colors for this card, other colors of cardstock and other paper, but you want to make sure that whatever paper you use is very thick. It wouldn't work with designer paper because it's too thin, and shimmer paper doesn't work very well either because you have to get a nice solid, like good fold in it so it stands up well, and the thinner papers just don't do that. So that's why we chose these. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your trimmer, and you're going to set your paper at 6, and you are going to move your roller coaster punch out of the way. And you're going to go all the way down and score. And you can do that a couple times. Don't do it too many times or it will cut it all the way through. And then you're just going to give it a good fold. Okay, so that is your goldenrod paper. You're going to cut that, or sorry, score that at 6 inches. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take your piece of crimson and you're going to score this one twice. So first you're going to put it in at 5 3/4, which is this one right here. And you're going to score there. And then, let's see, can you even see that? Nope, not really. There we go. So 5 3/4, score it there. And then you're going to turn it around and you're going to score it at, now this one's going to seem tricky. We're going to score it at 2 7/8. So 2 7/8, if you're not sure where that is, each one of these little lines, the very, very tiny ones are 16ths and the slightly bigger than that are the 8ths. So it's 2 lines below the number 3. It was 2 7/8, okay? So you're just gonna score that there. And then the way you're gonna fold it is you're actually gonna fold it so the big piece goes up and the small piece goes down. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we have this piece that we're gonna set to the side, and then this black piece of cardstock that we cut, we're just gonna put it in our roller coaster punch. So there's that, and here's my rule of thumb. You punch it once, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna line it up on the piece here, and my rule of thumb is, see how that's blue and silver? You wanna cover up the blue. So here's the rule. See no blue, punch it through. Whoop, no blue, it's all the way in the back. Punch that through and you'll get a perfect cut every time. And then you're gonna just do that again. You're gonna move it down. See no blue, punch it through. Okay, so now you've got your roller coaster and that's finished. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do, and I always, by the way, keep my little bits because they are fun to play with, to put in shaker cards. All my little bits are fun to use later. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece of black and we're gonna cut off a 1/2 inch. And again, I'm a lefty, so everything's at the top, and I apologize because it's the bottom really for me. But your 1/2 inch on this side is the beginning of your grid marks. So you're gonna cut that 1/2 inch off. And we're actually gonna need to cut a little bit off of this black piece in a moment, but for now we're good. We're just gonna set this piece to the side. We're gonna use this on the card. And then we're gonna take this piece that's left of our roller coaster and, okay, again, I'm a lefty, so everything's backwards, but I go to the edge of the gray, and when the very last line of punches where I start to get that straight line again, that's where I put it. So it's at the edge of the gray. And if you're worried about, like, if you accidentally forget to cut this piece off, that's okay. You can use a tiny bit of repositionable tape to put your paper down on your trimmer, and you can still cut it and it should hold it in place. So, but there's enough on here that I don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is I just put this at the edge of the trimmer and I'm going to cut that piece right there. And then what happens is what I did was I cut it to 1/4 inch. So however you like to cut, I just took the end of the punch and cut an extra 1/4 inch. That's what we're going to use to actually adhere it in place. Okay, so we're done cutting. We're going to put that to the side. Actually, no, we're not. I'm sorry. There's one more piece we have to fix, and that's this piece. Last time I taught this, I forgot to do that. So, because this is going to fit on your piece of paper, because it makes this piece right here, what you're actually going to want to do is you're going to want to cut this piece down to 5.5. So for those of you who don't know this, the very edge of your trimmer is 5.5. So you'll just cut that down. You're really just cutting off a tiny little bit. And that's a leftover, so you can throw that to the side. Okay, so then what we're gonna do, now we're gonna assemble our card. I got a little antsy, wanted to really get that card going. So I always assemble first, and then I go back and decorate it. And the reason is, That way I can kind of see where my fold lines are, and it's a little bit easier for me to put things together that way. So you're going to take your goldenrod, that's going to be your back piece, and then you're going to take your crimson. You're going to put your card on kind of even on both sides, but top and bottom, you want it to be more towards the bottom than the top. So, whoops. So this is how that's going to end up, and this will become the bottom of your card, and it will stand like this. So now you're going to go through and decorate. So you're going to take that big piece of 5.5 by 5.5, and you're going to put adhesive. I tend to use less adhesive when I scrapbook than when I make cards, because cards get moved around a lot and put in envelopes and taken out and touched, whereas you've got a page protector that kind of holds your pages together. So you really don't need a lot. My rule is always less is more, unless it's a structural thing. So the structure of the card, in order to stand up, you do want that piece to have enough adhesive or it won't fall off. So there's that piece. And then you can put a card in here. If you have a really cute photo map pack page that you like, you put that in here. Just know half of it's going to be folded. When you go to mail the card, you can even hold it up like this. And then next I will do my roller coaster, because I want to see how far down to put my stripes. So you're going to do your little roller coaster. And this is where the mini tape runner is really great. I just forgot to grab it when I came over here. So we're using regular tape runner, but only a smidgen. You don't want to get any tape runner in the holes, but you do want to use tape runner rather than, as I say that, I just did it, rather than the repositionable, because it needs to be pretty sturdy and it needs to stay pretty well in there. So I'll just peel that down a little bit so you don't see it through the holes, because it will stick to the back of your paper here if you don't. And then I just find the edge of this folded part of the card, and that's where I line up that 1/4 inch that I have, and the rest will stick out off the top. And this is where your precision point scissors could come in handy if you didn't quite cut it right. Your little micro tip, you could just cut that little bit off. Okay, so you've got most of your card done. Isn't that cute looking? All right, so now you're just going to take your piece of stripy paper, figure out where you want that to sit, and lay that on here. I did about halfway, like that. Whoops. Not even paying attention to what I'm doing here, Becca. Okay. And it's okay to make mistakes, right? We all learn from them and we grow from them and we make it better. Okay. And then you take that black piece that you just cut, that small black piece, and you lay that on there as well. And then you're going to just choose your design, whichever sticker you want, and you're going to use your foam squares and you're going to stick it on there. And there you go. That is how you make a Magic Awaits easel card.